Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Shruti Smriti Puranana Malayam Karunalayam Namame Bhagavatpada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Yakṣa uvāca kiṃsvidekapadaṃ dharṃyaṃ kiṃsvidekapadaṃ yaśaḥ kiṃsvidekapadaṃ svargyaṃ kiṃsvidekapadaṃsukhaṃ. We have seen the first two, the third also we have seen up to a point. Let us see. Yudhiṣṭhira uvāca dākṣyamekapadaṃ dharṃyaṃ dānamekapadaṃ yaśaḥ satyamekapadaṃ svargyaṃ śīlamekapadaṃsukhaṃ. Satyamekapadaṃ svargyaṃ, that is what we were discussing. You see, the word svarga, Pauranikas look at it as desha-pradhana, means it's a place somewhere above, it is not around, you have to reach there, one reaches there after death. That is how Pauranikas look at it, but Vedantis do not look at it like that. What happened is, the Vedantins have become kachya-pachya Vedantins. Thoda, a little this, a little that. No integrity. Therefore, some of these points are missed altogether. For Vedantins, Svarga is avastha pradhana, not desha pradhana. So your state of mind is defined as Svarga. In what state of mind you are living your life, that determines Svarga or Naraka. Whereas for Pauranikas, it is this is not Svarga, this is Bhuloka, Naraka is somewhere below and Svarga is above. It is Desha-pradhana. Desha-buddhi is Purana, whereas Avastha, thinking in terms of Avastha, Manasika Avastha, that is how Svarga is defined by Vedantins. Even Kumarala Bhatta defines it like that. So sometimes you feel frustrated that some of these basic truths are totally ignored, or people are ignorant about it. Very sad. So, suppose you tell the truth, how will your mind be? It will be at peace. That is Svarga. Suppose you tell a lie, then to cover the lie, you have to tell one more lie, one more lie, one more lie. Like that, a series of lies will be there. And they all will make you very tense, and at any moment you can be caught. That's why a series of lies, you are caught in a group of lies, in a bundle of lies. And so that becomes very difficult. Life becomes difficult. So your mind will be constantly worried and stressed out. That is the Naraka. There is no other Naraka. Because when the mind is not peaceful, people will get all kinds of illnesses also. The physiology and the psychology are so very closely related. So quite often I try to say, a molecule affects the mind as much as a thought affects the molecule. Therefore, you see, people know it. Suppose you are angry, there is adrenaline goes into the blood circulation. Adrenaline or epinephrine or whatever. Some hormone, simple organic molecules are generated when you are emotionally disturbed. Similarly, by giving a molecule like morphine, etc., the mental state can be altered. So they are interrelated. Therefore, go on telling lies, and that makes the person sick. And unfortunately, nobody connects the illness with the mind. They treat the physical and the psychological as two watertight compartments. This is what is called molecular medicine. That is the name given to it. They are not watertight like that. They are very closely, intricately connected with each other. So the psychological affects the physical and vice versa. Therefore, telling the truth is the right way to keep even the body healthy. So body is healthy, mind is peaceful, that is the svarga. Whereas you have to reach a place called svarga, that is a different way. So you can explain the word svargyaṃ in both ways. Svargāya hitam. Tell the truth, and that keeps you happy and healthy and peaceful in this world, which is heaven. Or tell the truth, that will acquire you punya. After that, the person will go to heaven, which is above. That is another way of looking at it. Okay. Of all people, Kumarala Bhatta, who is the patriarch kind of for the ritual section of the Vedas, he defined Svarga as a state of mind. Of all the people, he defined. So what to speak of others? So that is the svargyaṃ. Then the next question is kiṃsvidekapadaṃ sukhaṃ. What is it that is overwhelmingly happiness? Sukham is happiness. So the answer is śīlamekapadaṃ sukhaṃ. That is the answer he is giving. So you have good conduct. That is the śīla. Śīla is character. Character certificate, did you hear that? In the high school, when you are leaving the high school, they give a certificate. Character certificate. So, most of the time they write satisfactory. That is how they write, without any commitment. You must have got some such certificate. One generation earlier it used to be there. And then you have to submit a true copy of the character certificate. Therefore, go to a typist. That was the way in which we used to live. Go to a typist and pay some money to him. He will type, he looks at the character certificate and he types. And below, 2 lines, and in between, true copy. That is how he types and gives. And now you have to take it to a tahsildar to get his signature. And after he signs, you have to take it to the peon to get the stamp. And then submit it. Then only your application is admitted. This is the British system which our people continued. Recently, Narendra Modi ji has changed all that. He said, you attest yourself. You need not get it signed by anybody. Self-attested copy. So, anyway. So, śīlam is something which you all know. Character. Character means it is not just one thing. Character is you think right, you speak the truth, and you do the right thing. So all the 3 levels are covered by what is called character, good character. So there are proverbs to that effect. Money is lost, something is lost. If character is lost, everything is lost. Like that there is a proverb, right? So money is lost, nothing is lost. What is the second one? Health is lost, something is lost. Character is lost, everything is lost. Good. That is nice. Next verse. Yakṣa uvāca kiṃsvidātmā manuṣyasya kiṃsvidekapadaṃ sukhaṃ upajīvanam kiṃsvidasya kiṃsvidasya parāyanam. So some of the things get repeated also. You have to go by the flow of the verses, okay? So what is the Atma for the human being? That is the question. You should not go by the Vedantic answer. Atma is the innermost self, not like that. What is Atma? Means, what is it that is as important as one's own existence? That is the question. Okay? Answer. Yudhiṣṭhira uvāca putra atma manushyasya bharya daiva krita sakha upajivanancha parjanyaha dānamasya parayanam. You see, you have to understand these verses by taking into account the social conditions, the cultural values, etc., that were obtaining at that time, some 2000 or 4000 years back. You should not look at the questions and answers through the prism of modern day culture and the modern day social standards. You should not look at it like that. So, this is people, what they do psychoanalysis. This psychoanalysis was invented by Freud, Sigmund Freud, and so applied to everything. So what was going on in the mind of Arjuna? What was going on in the mind of Duryodhana? Like that. They teach Gita means they don't teach Gita. They teach this psychoanalysis of people, characters in Gita. That is not Gita. Gita begins 2:11. So asocyanam vasochastvam. That is where Gita begins. So shoka, sorrow. Is there sorrow in your life? Yes. Everybody says yes. Then there is no valid reason for this sorrow. That is the verse. Now how can that be? Because we are feeling sorrowful for a valid reason. There is a reason, good enough reason to feel sorrowful. And now you come and say that there is no valid reason for sorrow. Do you mean to say I am sorrowful wrongly, not knowing things properly, that's why I am sorrowful? Yes. How can that be? That is where Gita begins. Gita doesn't begin with 4 horses came and then a chariot came and then conscious and that is not what Gita is. So people spend a lot of time on that and come out with all kinds of theories about it. So much of psychoanalysis of Arjuna and then Bhishma. What is Bhishma? What is Drona? Like that. So it is a big distraction. The main message is given a secondary place and people are busy with this psychoanalysis. How do you know what is in the mind of Arjuna and all that? You should not do that kind of psychoanalysis. Freud's psychoanalysis, he applied it to his patients. They come to him and he talks with them and takes notes, etc. He takes their history as part of his notes and then he tries to apply the principles of psychoanalysis to understand their psychology, what are its defects, and then how to treat them. That is the psychoanalysis. Anyway, so you should not try to psychoanalyze Yakṣa or Dharmaraja, etc. In those days, that is how things were. Presently, things have changed a lot. Like, what is the Atma for a human being? The son is the Atma for the human being. Because the daughter marries and goes into another home. Daughter will not stay with parents. Even today it works like that. Daughter is considered the member of another family, not the member of this family. Now why the daughter is lingering here? Yeah, she is a kind of yaśaḥ, means temporarily kept here. And when the time comes, the marriage, and she will go to her place. This is not her place. Then this home, whose home it is? The father and the son. Putra atma manushyasya. So son inherits the property and all that. And also son performs the obsequies when father and mother die. So son is the main thing. And the son takes the lineage forward. This was the thinking that was prevalent in their minds. And therefore the question is answered as Putra Atma Manushyasya. There is a Veda mantra also. Atma vai putra namasi. The father is addressing the son. Dear son, you are called Putra. Putra nama asi. You are called Putra, but you are not Putra. You are indeed Atma. Atma vai putra namasi. So that is the Veda mantra. And the answer is also according to that mantra. That is from Karma Kanda. Then, who is the friend? You make friends with people around. So, in high school, college, in the office, and in the community where you live, you make friends. So, but all these friends are manushya krita sakha. You create those friends for yourself. But there is one friend which God created for you. Daiva krita sakha. And that friend is your wife. Bharya. Daiva krita sakha. That is how in the Vedic culture it is understood that way. You see, if you have a historic perspective, say, I always put it this way, you may check also, and if any variations are needed, you may do them also. I am not a history man. Some idea I am giving. So BC 200 to AD 500, roughly 700 years. That is called a golden age of Indian history. Swarna Yuga, like that. And it's a bit question in the social studies, 2 marks question. What is the golden age of Indian history? You have to write there a blank. And you write correctly 200 BC to 500 AD, you will get 2 marks. That was the Indian history. And so before that, the prehistoric period, etc., the period of the epics and all that. And then after that is the modern, not modern, medieval period. AD 600, etc. AD 700 odd is the time when Muhammad Ghazani or Gori, one of them, arrived. And so already Islam has taken roots in Arabia, and they were moving, trying to expand their power and also gain more money from other civilizations. And so through the mountains, they found a pass, mountain pass. Yeah, and through that they came into the Sindh Delta, the Sindh River and its delta. And they started looting the wealth from there. And some of them have taken roots there, they remained there and made family, etc. That is how it started. In 750 or so it started. Medieval, that is the medieval period beginning. And from then till the British came, you can call it medieval period. But when it comes to the Hindu philosophy, we say up to Swami Vivekananda's address to the Parliament of Religions, that is medieval period. And from then onwards, the Hindu Renaissance period, that is how we look at it. Therefore, in that medieval period, the marriages are performed by elders only. Elders decide the marriage. Sometimes the girl was not even known to the person, entirely unknown girl, he marries her. And sometimes that is the first time he sees the girl and then marries her. Sometimes first marries and then sees the girl also. First marriage is done. And then, so marriage was also done in different ways. So whatever ritual, etc. is there, the marriage function was concluded. Then the intervening screen is taken out, and then he looks at the girl whom he married half an hour back. That is also there. And in some of the Kshatriya clans, the girl marries the sword of the man. He sends his sword with his inscription, with his name inscribed on that. And that sits by his side, by her side, and marriage is performed. So she marries the sword, and then he comes, and then he claims his wife. So all kinds of marriages were going on. Therefore, in that context, you can say, wife is a friend not created by oneself, but created by the God. Daiva krita sakha. So they have, so in this 3 periods I mentioned, the first period is before the beginning of the golden age. What we call golden age is in the center. Before that, that is very ancient times, before Christian era, and then after the golden age, the the Islamic invasions started. Then various clans of Islamic people have come, and finally Mughals have come. Babur has come. So Gori, Gajani, Alauddin Khilji, Tughlaq, all these clans are over, and then Babur came. It's a long history of Islamic invasions, and so that is the period, medieval period. So in the medieval period, the woman lost her status in the society. She became a second-class citizen in the family as well as in the society. All her rights were taken away, including the right to worship. Means a woman is not eligible for worship, that is started. Whereas in the golden age, that is 200 BC to 500 AD, and then before 200 BC, woman was occupying equal position with man in the family and social life. Equal position. Sometimes even superior position. And this comes from that culture, where woman occupies equal and even better position than man in the family as well as in the society. The question and answer comes from that culture. You have to understand it that way. That's why the best friend for a human being in his life is his better half. Better half. Not equal half, better half. One poet said, not even better half, better 3/4. I was amazed by this better 3/4. That was said by P.G. Wodehouse. You look at him. Now you understand why he is such a great author. It occurred to him. Better half is a commonly known word, but you can improve upon it by saying, she is my better 3/4. Amazing, right? So, there are... Yeah, Daiva Krutas. Daiva Krutas Sakha. God has created the friend for the human being. Certainly superior to the friends that he made for himself. So, Sakha is the friend. Sakha saha khadate iti sakha. Saha khyayate iti sakha. So, they are mentioned together. The moment you mention the husband, you mention the wife also. You don't mention one of them. You mention both of them together. So, while inviting, in all situations, you mention both. Even the brahmacharis who study under a family person, guru, so the brahmacharis go and do namaskar to the guru as well as his patni, guru patni, to both of them. That is how it works. Therefore, they are always mentioned together. Saha khyayate. That's why sakha. Sakha is friend. Why friend? Why sakha means friend? Because they are always mentioned together. Khyayate. Why they are mentioned together? Because they are always together, kind of. Then saha khadate. Somebody said khadate, sakha. They eat together. So, that is the word sakha. Means very intimately related people. That is the sakha. So, for the husband, sakha, the friend, philosopher and guide, something like that, is his wife. That's why in the marriage function, there is a small ritual called Saptapadi. You must have heard it. So, the Saptapadi mantras, the mantras of the Saptapadi, 7 steps together. And then many other mantras of the marriage function, they highlight the glory of the woman in the function and also in the life afterwards. Woman is given very great status. I can mention 1 or 2 mantras for your information. In those days, I am mentioning because the context came, I wrote a book on marriage rituals. All the mantras are brought together and explained in Telugu. So, Vivaha Sanskaramu, like that a book was written. Later that book was handed over to a book publisher, and even now they are sold in the market in Hyderabad. And 4 or 5 editions or 4 or 5 prints, quite a lot of books have gone into the society. They become very popular. In fact, I know instances where the people come to the market and purchase 100 copies, 200 copies and take and distribute in the marriage to all the guests. That such instances were also there. So even now they happen, okay? So at that time, I examined all the mantras of the marriage. So I can mention 1 or 2. Like Sakha Saptapada Bhava. That is how the mantra begins. Oh madam, you become my friend in life. And this friendship is cemented by taking 7 steps together. So pada is a word, pada is a step. In the context of the marriage, it is not word, because they don't speak. They don't speak at all. Wife and husband in those days, they don't speak with each other. In fact, they don't even look at each other. They speak only during the night when they are alone. The rest of the time, they don't meet each other, they don't speak. That was how the traditional combined families were. You can understand that. Therefore, the pada is not word anymore because they don't speak. They only take 7 steps together. Sakha Saptapada Bhava. You are my friend because we are taking 7 steps together. Sakhya Saptapada Babhuva. So I am taking 7 steps with you, and that is how Sakhyau. So Sakha, Sakhayau, that is the modern Sanskrit, but in the ancient Sanskrit, Sakhyau. You and I become friends because we are taking 2 steps together. The mantra is like that. You are my friend because of 7 steps. Now we are friends together because of the 7 steps. Sakhyante gameyam. May I gain your love and your friendship in life. Sakhyate mayosham. These are all the vows taken in the marriage ritual. May I never ever be separated from your friendship. Sakhyaganme ma yudhiṣṭhira. Dear friend, you may never move out of my friendship. Mutual, So, samayava sankalpavahai. These are the mantras of the Saptapadi. Sam ayava, let us move together, go together. Sankalpavahai, let us think together. Husband and wife, they think together. Means there is a total resonance in the thought. Total harmony and resonance. So, sampriyau rochishnu sumanasyamanau. We love each other. That is how we shine together. Rochishnu sumanasyamanau. We have a friendly, loving mind, thought towards each other. Keep some complaint in the mind, etc. Not like that. Let us have always loving, friendly thought towards each other. Then, ishamurjam abhisamvasanau. We live together, and whatever food is there, isha is food. Ishetva, jetva, like that Veda begins. And then urja is a strength that you gain from the food. So that isha and urja, food and energy, the nutrition that we get from it, we share it equally, and we take care of each other in the matter of food and nutrition. Sannau manamsi. May our minds, our thoughts, manamsi plural, therefore thoughts. Now, both of us. So our thoughts may coincide always in life. Samvratau. So, samu chittanyakaram. So, vrata, any vows we take together. Not that wife has her own vow. Husband has his own vows and prayers and some austerities, etc. Not like that. we continue the austerities also together. And our thinking is also together, we think in the same lines. This is the essence of Saptapadi, which makes the wife Sakha. Got it? So that's why Bharya Daiva Krata Sakha. And even the poets also, Kalidasa, Bhavabhuti, etc., these poets described wife in similar glory in their poems. Because in the poems there will be hero, heroine, and there will be a storyline and all that. In that, the rasa is Shrungara. Love is the primary sentiment. And then sometimes Karuna rasa. Karuna is the sorrow or pathos. And that is the sentiment, rasa. It is called Vipralambha Shrungara. Means between the love, there was an obstacle. Then the love becomes Karuna. That is how. Therefore, the rasa, this kind of rasa, either Karuna, whether Shrungara or Karuna, you see it in the poems between husband and wife. Like Ramayanam, the rasa is Karuna, Karuna rasa. And it is the love story of Rama and Sita. The beauty of Ramayana is that it is a love story, not that it is some Purana. People have converted into Purana. It is not a Purana, it is a love story. So, it is something like, take some love story of Shakespeare, like Midsummer Night's Dream, etc., and develop a religious sect out of it. That is how it happened with Ramayana. The Vaishnavacharyas, they have pulled Ramayana left and right and converted Rama into a god which Valmiki never intended. Valmiki presented Rama as a human being and Sita is his beloved. Their love, he made a story of their love. That is the love story, Ramayana. That's why even today, people love Ramayana not because it is a religious text. They love Ramayana because it is the story of love. Anyway, therefore, Daiva Kruta Sakha. So one poet says, Gruhini Sachivaha Sakhi Mithaha Priyashishya Lalite Kala Vidhau. This is Kalidasa in Raghuvamsham. He says, the wife is a minister, Sachivaha, counselor. And the man is in trouble, some psychological problem he has. The wife plays the role of a counselor, Sachivaha. And then she is the friend, Sakhi. Friend. Sakha is Pumlinga, but Sakhi is the friend. And then they help each other, they love each other. Sakhi Mithaha. She is the friend to him and he is the friend to her. And then Priya Shishya. Sometimes the man is a scholar. The lady can study with him and can play the role of a beloved student. That is also. And then what is the student? Lalite Kala Vidhau. In that particular story, the king is Aja Maharaja and his beloved is Indumati. Aja Maharaja was a great artist. He was a great artist. He was expert in many fine arts. And his wife, Indumati, was learning some of these fine arts from him. Therefore, he says, when it comes to the way the art is built, art is presented or performed, in that matter, Kalavidhi, she was a very dear, very beloved student for me. Like that he described. So Rama also described like that. So Sakha, Advaitam, Sukhadukhayoho. That is what Rama and Sita. There is Advaita. Generally, wife and husband, they have Dvaita. She follows her life and he follows his life. That is called Dvaita. It should not be Dvaita. So it should be Advaita. So Advaita means Sukhadukhayoho. Advaita. That means if a wife feels happy in a given matter, the same matter makes husband also happy. Suppose in whatever wife is happy, husband is unhappy, suppose. Or in those matters, husband is happy, wife becomes unhappy, suppose. Now there is no meeting point. It is like a wife wants to watch CNN and husband wants to watch at the same time Fox News. One is Republican and another is a Democrat. ऐसा हो जाता, very bad, very sad. It should not be like that. So, the same thing makes them happy and the same thing makes them unhappy. Sukhe advaitam, dukhe advaitam. Okay? Suppose the man's mother is no more. So man has some sorrow and she feels good about it. That is unhappy. That is very unfortunate. May not be death only. The woman becomes sick. He is now in trouble. He is very unhappy that his mother is sick, but she is very happy. It should not be like that. It should, but it can happen the other side also. It should not be like that. Sukha dukkhayoha advaitam. That is how wife and husband are visualized by these great poets and all that. Anyway, that is enough. kiṃsvidekapadaṃ. Then upajivanam kiṃsvidasya. Asya, to this human being, what is it that gives him food? Upajivanam, life, braduguderu in Telugu. So, what is it that he makes both ends meet? By what he lives the life, the family life. So what is it? So we are all able to eat food and live happily because of what? That is the question. And the answer is upajivanancha parjanyaha, the rain bearing, the rain god. The rain, parjanyaha is the rain. The rain is the one which sustains all life. And for us, it is the rain which is our source of life. Because of the rain only we are living. This is very true in the case of India, where 1.4 billion people live. Means 1.4 billion people take breakfast, take lunch and take dinner, day, every day, day after day. That means so much food has to be produced. And how it is produced? India is self-sufficient in food production. So how could that be possible? Parjanyaha. Not the projects, etc. Because they build dams, but suppose there is no rain, what the dams will do? So rain, first and last, good monsoon, that keeps India going strong. You see, we have big startups, companies started by Indians as well as outsiders, like Swiggy, Zomato, etc. So these websites, so they arrange services. The person goes and brings the food of your choice from the restaurant of your choice and gives it to you within 30 minutes. Generally, if the place is too far, if you select a restaurant which is too far from your home, then it may go up to 40-45 minutes. Otherwise, generally, an average, within 20 to 30 minutes, the food is at your door. All this is made possible only because there is good food production and only because there are good rains. Suppose you imagine the food production is less, then what will happen to all these websites? They will be closed. Because food is adequate and it is cooked and served in good quantities, and that's why Swiggy, Zomato, etc., they are doing a roaring business. Big business they are doing in India. Here we have something called Uber Eats. Something called Uber Eats. Is it there here? It is there in Pennsylvania. Uber Eats. So what Uber Eats will do, unless there is food plenty, what Uber Eats will do? It must be readily available in plenty. Then only Uber Eats will have any relevance. Therefore, Parjanyaha, that is the source of food for all life forms, but in particular for the humans. Then final question, What is the supreme goal in life? Dānamasya parayanam. That is the answer. The supreme goal in life is dānam. So, you give. Giving, charity. Dānam is giving. Dāi dāne, that is the dhatu. So, you may say charity, but not necessarily charity only. You should give everything, and in every context one should give. Particularly in the family, the property the parents should not keep with themselves, they should give. When they are hale and healthy, they should give. They can keep for something for themselves, but they should give. And then the gold, etc. also they should give. Go on giving, giving, giving. In giving there are 3 levels. Give, give up, give away. Give means you keep most for yourself and give a little. That is called giving. Give up means you develop the sense of vairagya, and then what you were holding on to till then, you develop that sense of dispassion, whether it is the influence of the scriptures or whatever, and then you give it up. And then have the sense that I have given up this and that. Whereas in give away, you don't have even the sense of giving or giving up. Just allow it to be taken. Okay? So that is the level in which dānam reaches its zenith. Give, give up, and give away. So you understand what it is? So dānamasya parayanam. This we have already seen this dānam. It came earlier, but came one more time. Next verse. Yakṣa uvāca dharṃyaṃ uttamam kiṃsvidekapadaṃ dhanānām syāt kiṃuttamam lābhānām uttamam kiṃsyāt sukhaṃ syāt kiṃuttamam. So the question is dhanya. Dhanya is laudable, the glorious, the laudable, whatever it is. That is called dhanya. There are many laudable things in people's lives. What is the best among all the laudable things in a person's life? That is the question. Then the answer, yudhiṣṭhira uvāca dharṃyaṃ uttamam dākṣyamekapadaṃ. That is the answer he gave. We have come back to square one again. Dākṣyam we have seen as the ability to perform the karmas efficiently. That is how we look at it. What is the efficiency involved there? A kaushalam, the dexterity. Namely, the karmas by nature bind us. They bind us by nature. But if you are skillful, if you do the same karmas in a proper way, they will not bind you. That is the dākṣyam, that is the ability. That is how we have seen earlier. That is the dākṣyam. But here you need not take it to that level. That is already covered. So the ability to perform the jobs properly, that much is enough. That is a laudable quality among people. So, you see, we used to do experiments in the laboratory, and there were people recognized as the best experimentalists. They nicely examine the experiment, first study it, then make all the arrangements properly, and work on the paper. This is how I am going to do it, and then make the arrangements, the glassware, etc., and then get the raw materials, the chemicals, weigh them properly, check their quality. Everything is taken care meticulously, and then the experiment is done. Once the experiment begins, observe. It is called observation. There is a notebook where you note down what all the things that you observe, called observation notebook. And in that you note the color changes, whatever, and sometimes there is effervescence, sometimes the reaction is exothermic, suddenly it becomes hot, sometimes it is endothermic, suddenly it becomes cool. Every aspect you observe and then get the result. And so many people are not very efficient. They are clumsy. But some are very efficient and they are recognized as such. When that person gives the experimental result, that is final. That is called dākṣyamekapadaṃ. So whatever job you do it perfectly. And the people laud such experts. They become laudable in this society. So this all of you know. The opposite also is there. Sometimes they are called Paramananda Shishyaru. The Guru, instead of asking them to do, it is better he goes and will do himself. Because if you ask them to do, they will mess it up and come out with further problems. Instead of handing the job to one of these Shishyas, better I do myself. Like that. So they mess up the things. Vinayakam prakurvānaha rachayamasa vānaram. He took some clay and wanted to make Ganapati for worship. Ganapati worship on Ganesh Chaturthi. But finally he made a figure. It resembled more a monkey than a Ganapati. It is like that. Some of these Shishyas are like that. They don't have any capability. Sometimes you hand over the job to a person, you can go on to sleep. You need not think about it. So all kinds of people we come across. In the family also, in those families where many people were there as members of the family. So wife, husband, and then brothers, sisters, their families, and then every family has many children, 4, 5, 6 children. In that situation, most of the people are inefficient only. There stands out one person who is efficient in the jobs that he performs. And so he is recognized in the family. Everybody will give jobs to that person only. Because they don't believe anybody else. That's why there is a proverb. Only the bull that carries the loads is given more loads. Okay. Whereas a bull that doesn't carry any load, you put a load on it, it pushes it down. Such a bull, people leave it alone. Nobody goes near that bull. Dākṣyamekapadaṃ. So, therefore, earlier the context was like that and we were talking about karma yoga, karmanya, karma and all that. But here, second time it has come, you can take it as some simple efficiency, very well understood by all and appreciated by all. Therefore it becomes the laudable thing. Good. Then the second, dhanānām syāt kimuttamam. That is the question. Dhana is the asset. Many assets are there. People have many assets. Which is the best asset? Suppose you look at it this way. Is it cash kept in one's almirah? Is that the best asset? Or you put the cash in the fixed deposit? Is that the best asset? Or you purchase gold and keep it? Is that the best asset? Or you purchase some securities? And so you invest in securities. Is that the best asset? So which is the best asset? That is not the question. Answer is not in those lines. Then what is the best asset? Let us say, dharṃyaṃ uttamam dākṣyam, dhanānām uttamam śrutam, lābhānām śreya ārogyam, sukhaṃ tuṣṭhiruttama. So what is the best asset? Dhana asset. You see, generally, people believe that riches of various forms. I have just now counted 4 forms of riches. So these riches are the best asset. That is how people believe. Whatever they may say, that is what they believe. And that is how they conduct themselves also. And everybody seems to think that riches make people happy. Wealth makes people happy. You see, it is exactly the opposite. Wealth doesn't make anybody happy. So, in many cases, people living in palatial mansions or palaces, etc., they are not happy people. They are unhappy. People living in a hut are happy. So, there is a book on Calcutta by a great author, The City of Joy. That is the book. In that, this author, it is a personal account, really speaking. It is not a fiction. It is his personal experience written in the form of a book. That author is there. I don't remember the name of the author. Lapierre or somebody. Dominic Lapierre. He wrote another book, The Jerusalem. So, in that book, The City of Joy, he describes the people living in the Calcutta slum. Movie also. And the slum dwellers, they are happy people. Very happy. Whereas in the post locality, people living in mansions, they are not happy. So, you see, there is enough evidence to show that outside splendor and grandeur does not bring happiness. It brings no happiness. People should understand these things, but they find it very difficult to understand. The truth is, the outside splendor, grandeur, decoration, etc., it doesn't bring happiness. Why people spend so much effort in it, only God knows. Riches, wealth, it doesn't improve matters at all. So, riches do not bring any happiness. That is the fact of life. That's why, what brings happiness? Dhananam uttamam shrutam, he says. So the learning, the wisdom, shrutam is wisdom, that brings happiness, not riches. So, you see, the rich people, they hanker after diamonds, gemstones, gold, etc. But they are ignorant of the diamonds shining in the sky. And so they are ignorant of the smiling forests and the dancing rivers and creeks. They are ignorant of all of that. They go to a dance program by spending a lot of money. But they are ignorant of the dancing creeks and rivers. And they do not know how to enjoy the glory of a cool breeze, warm sunshine. Can there be? This all comes free of cost. You don't need to spend 1 paisa for all that. They also don't know the beauty of moonlight. All of these things are made available to us freely. We need not pay for any one of them. And the nature provides all these assets, all this wealth for us. We don't recognize the value of that wealth. You see, I tell you, those who believe that their happiness depends upon particular conditions. So they have some ideas in their mind. So I will be happy in these conditions. That is how they believe. They will find that the real happiness recedes away from them day after day after day. As the days are progressing, the happiness moves away from them. Therefore, this wealth, riches, happiness, etc., there is no connection between the two. There is no karana-karya bhava. That's why wealth can get hospital services, doctor's service and medicines, but it cannot get health. Wealth cannot get health. Wealth can make a big palace, but it cannot make harmony between husband and wife. And it cannot make children making parents happy. That cannot happen because of wealth. In fact, wealth is counterproductive. Beyond a point, accumulation of wealth works against the welfare and happiness of the people in the family and in the society. So people have to understand what is the best asset? Wisdom. So what I am telling you, that is the wisdom. You understand that there is no connection between happiness and wealth. No connection between health and wealth. No connection at all. So Swami Ramatirtha told a story. There was one rich man living in a palace, and he has an air-conditioned bedroom, master bedroom with best facilities possible, etc. But he doesn't get sleep. He cannot sleep in the night, he remains awake. And so he comes to the balcony. Outside the compound wall of his palace, he has a compound wall, the high compound wall they keep. Outside the compound wall, on the footpath, making the compound wall as one ready-made wall, somebody made a hut and he sleeps inside that. He is sleeping on the footpath, he and his wife. This is the shanty house. Bring some plastic sheet and put one or two nails to that wall and hang the shanty seats and put two poles, and that is his house. He and his wife live there. Put a door also and put a lock also to the door before going for daily work that fetches money for the man as well as the woman. So whenever this rich man comes out into the balcony, he notices that the wife and husband are sleeping happily in that shanty on the footpath, underneath the plastic sheets. And his compound wall provides one important wall for their home. So he asked his friend, what is the secret of this? They are happy, sleeping happily, whereas I have all the comforts that the world can give, that the riches can provide. Bed, air conditioner, this, that. But I am unable to sleep. What is the reason? So then the friend advised, you do one thing. You make a bundle of rupees. Rupee has a very high value in those days. Take it that way. Okay? A bundle of rupees, a bag of rupee coins. 96 rupees, you make it in a bag and drop in their place. When they go for work next day, you do that. Then you will know. So they go for work. In the workplace, the man gets half a rupee and the woman gets 6 annas, the daily wage. They get that wage, 14 annas wage, 8 annas the man, 6 annas the woman, 14 annas they bring, out of which they purchase the food required, etc., and save an anna or two. And they were living happily. This man put, they never saw 1 rupee coin, never touched even those rupee coins, very valuable. He made a bundle of 96 and dropped in their place. They came home and found this bundle. It is like a treasure for them. They counted the coins, 96. That night, that wife and husband did not sleep anymore. And then they made a plan. So they were discussing about how to make it 100. This 96, how to make it 100. That was the discussion. And they spent the whole night with that discussion only. But it is the moment it is in morning, they have to rush to the work. Then they rush to the work without proper sleep. And they decide, today onwards, out of 14 annas that we get, both of us, let us save 2 annas, so that eventually we shall make it 100. Therefore, their food quality is reduced. They could not sleep properly. They became sick, and this man was watching. Now I understand what is the reason for ill health and reason for insomnia. That is the story. I could not put it in a very dramatic way, but this story was described by Swami Ramatirtha. The day you take away the connection between happiness and riches, they are not connected to each other. The day you understand that, that is wisdom. You know, the rich people in India, they perform these marriages and spend huge amounts of money. Why? Because they have all that money that doesn't make them happy. That hangs on their heads as a burden. Now they are trying to gain some happiness by throwing the money all around, by spending it as much as they can, so all around. So they bring a pop star from here to the marriage function there. They pay huge amount, millions of rupees to these pop stars and other people. But still they don't get money. Then they bring gurus and giving a huge donations to the gurus, to the marriage. Gurus come because they get what they want, the donations they get, they come. Still they don't get happiness. They don't, in the religion they don't get happiness. The popular religion, the way they practice it, it is a kind of religion where the resources matter, not devotion. The resources matter. The more gold you give to God, the more devoted you are. That kind of a calculation goes on. Why people think like that? You want to purchase God with gold and money? They want to do that. How can they be so ignorant? They are ignorant. They just don't know the truth of life. They don't know what is wealth. They don't know what are riches. They don't know anything. They are totally ignorant. And they remain in ignorance and they remain in suffering also. Riches do not make anybody happy. They make people worried and stressed out, worried and unhappy. They don't make anybody happy. You get happy when you give, not when you acquire. So, dhananam uttamam shrutam. The wisdom is the best wealth that you can think of. Wisdom, understanding, knowledge. Once you have the knowledge, you can be happy also. Generally, they give the example of G.D. Birla, Ghanshyam Das Birla, who lived in Calcutta. He was a rich man. He started the BITS Institute of Technology and Science, Pilani. That is what he started. He was wearing a normal dress. Once he told his secretary, the dress you wear costs 10 times the dress I am wearing. He told his secretary. The mallu cloth, that means very coarse cloth, is available in the market. He purchases some 10 yards or 20 yards of that cloth and makes it into pieces. Some pieces, long pieces, are for the dhoti. Short pieces are made into banyan-like shirts with a pocket. And he wears the shirt, banyan-like shirt, and the dhoti made from the same kind of coarse cloth. No variety also. That is how, so that means in those days, 10 rupees worth of cloth is enough for 5-10 years of his dresses. Whereas the secretary wears 200 rupees coat, he wears. So he told his secretary, Why you waste so much money on the dresses, etc.? You are my secretary, look at me. My dress is 1/10 of the cost of your dress. That is what he told. He lived a happy old man, he lived happy till the old age, and he lived happily and he died happily. He has done so much for this society. So the riches could not corrupt him. G.D. Birla. Anyway, so dhananam uttamam shrutam. Then labhanam shreya arogyam. That is the next. Labha is a gain. What is the best gain in life? Again, people have all kinds of notions about the best gain. So the Dharmaraja is telling, labhanam shreya arogyam. The best, shreya means the best. Among all the gains is good health. You see, about health, people have to understand a few things. You see, to be healed psychologically, I have discussed this one time, but it came again, that's why I am saying a few things before concluding the class. To be healed psychologically is more important than to be healed physically. Because psychological illness, what is the psychological illness? Ignorance, lack of proper understanding, and then holding on to all kinds of misconceptions and superstitions. That is the psychological illness. It affects the body. And therefore, the body becomes sick because of the psychological illness. Therefore, the psychological state of health is far more important than physical health. So, we are not saying you disregard the physical well-being. No, you keep the physical well-being in place. But mere concentration on physical health will not make you a healthy man. So, you have to pay attention to the psychological well-being. You have to address that. Therefore, if you address the psychological well-being, like what? Like study of the Yakṣapraśnāḥ, etc., study of Gita, understanding and getting rid of some misconceptions, and living the vision, that kind of psychological well-being, that kind of a transformation, inner transformation, if you achieve it, then it will help you in maintaining physical well-being. This is a very important principle. Generally, we concentrate on healing the outward, the physical. That is how we concentrate. And that is the popular viewpoint also. That's why when a person says, I am a doctor, then he will attract many persons who want his service. Many patients in a way. A doctor attracts many patients. But suppose the study of Yakṣapraśnāḥ, the study of Gita is there. That doesn't attract many people. Because the people are concentrating on physical well-being. They are not so much out to gain psychological well-being. Therefore, when you talk of psychological or inner transformation, that will not draw many people. Only physical wellness groups, they draw groups. So because people concentrate on healing the physical, they don't pay attention to the healing of the inward illness. There is an inward illness, the inward disease. Like one is jealous, one is envious, one is hateful. That is the disease. That is illness, psychological illness. It is no less important than a festering wound, an infection. It is as bad as that, sometimes even worse. that inward corruption, that inward distortion is worse than a physical illness. Therefore, the real health comes from the psychological well-being that one should understand. So one should address that. You see, a physician can heal outwardly. Okay? Just you become outwardly normal and you fit into the society. But that is not real health. To be really healthy, you must pursue truth. There must be clarity of understanding. Your psyche should not be corrupted. It should not be corrupted. And so, therefore, to heal a person, to heal oneself completely, both physically and psychologically, is a miracle. It's a great achievement. Therefore, you can say, Labhanam Shreyaha Arogyam. So, this compartmental buddhi, that physical different from psychological, one has to put it aside and pay attention to psychological well-being as much as physical well-being. I'm not suggesting you neglect the physical well-being, no, but pay attention to the psychological well-being. So, then let us see one or two questions. Space and time are mental categories. When mind moves, space and time are created. Good. What is the referential frame for the movement of mind? The physical object. Space. In space mind moves. Just like the objects move in space. That is what Newton's law says. In absolute space and absolute time, when the objects move, they follow the following laws. Similarly, the mind thoughts happen in the mental space, and then the thought is encased in time. Now, don't make it too much of a physics class.
If there is no object, there is no space and time.
Yeah. So, yeah. Therefore, when a body is moving, what is the reference frame, you ask? But you need not take the entire physical thing and put it into the mental situation, not necessary. The mind is producing thoughts. Somehow the question itself is not very clear for me. You make the question more clear. What is the referential frame for the movement of mind? What do you mean by that? I did not understand the question itself. So in which domain the mind is moving? In the mental space. In which domain the objects are moving? In the physical space. In which domain the mind is moving? In the mental space. Chitta kasha. So, could you please explain the vyashti level and samashti level also? What do you mean by vyashti level, samashti level? So, okay, you can say that. You can ask the question, no harm. You think that the thought that you have is vyashti. And the cosmic person, not thought, intelligence, the cosmic intelligence. We don't say cosmic thinking. We say cosmic intelligence. That is the buddhi at the cosmic level. That is samashti. But then the vyashti doesn't exist independent of samashti. Vyashti is part and parcel of the samashti. So, what is the violence in us? Like jealous, we become jealous. We gossip against people. That is all violence in us. And then we tell untruth to hurt the other person. That is violence. Then sometimes they plan some injustice to the other person and try to bring some bad thing to the other guy. That is violence. So there is so much violence in the minds of the people. And this violence is rajoguna. These ambitious people, they are violent. They compare with others and they have to overtake the others. They have to move forward compared with the others. That kind of competition and ambition is also a form of mental violence. Then, then one more question. Nothing can truly be called mine, not the body, not thoughts, not the life force, and not even as I associated with them. Good. What remained was simply presence. Good. Emptiness, you can say that also. And existence without a name. Yes. You can add one more thing, impersonal awareness, that remains. Even calling it Atman or Brahman doesn't seem right. Why not? Atman is your essential self. So that impersonal awareness is your essential self. That is what you truly are. And hence it can be called Atman. And that is timeless and spaceless. That impersonal awareness is spaceless and timeless. And hence it can be called Brahman. I don't know what I am. Only that I cannot say that I am not. Good. You can say I am. You can say I am not is wrong. You can say I cannot say that I am not. Good. You add one more thing. Simply go ahead and say I am. You are right. You need not make it so complex, you know. It is difficult not to let the mind escape. Yeah, you need not to stop the mind. Mind is like mercury. If you put mercury, it will spread everywhere. Mind is very mercurial, that also they say. So, highly vagrant, and it jumps here and there. We say that. Manas chanchalam. Chanchalam hi manah partha. Sri Krishna. Good. It jumps to the other subjects. Nice. There was no, I am concluding, there was no experience of ananda or any sense of relief. When there is ananda, there will be no mind. Yeah. And there is ananda in you. Why do you say there is no ananda? There is ananda in you. How do I know that you are able to write such a 2-paragraph question? Shows that the ananda is pulsating in you, making you alive and active and thoughtful and all that. Without ananda, no life form survives. There is ananda in you. It became clear that everything is not mine, good, and given as if by magic, nice, such as the fact that there is a coffee in a cup, clothes in the closet and so on. They are all given, good. That attitude is good. So Bhagavan has given everything, and you can be devoted to Bhagavan. You can do that. Nothing belongs to anyone. You say nothing belongs to me, that is enough. Don't take power of attorney from others. Nothing belongs to me. Because you will create problem for others, there will be problem. I do not feel joy or sadness, means you are at peace, and that peace is joy. Excitement is not joy. So you are at peace, that is joy. There is no particular emotion, that is joy. That is joy. Om Purnamada Purnamidam